Okay, like I said, I was gonna do another book review. I read the entire time we were at the Pirates game. Um, and just ended it now because like I was watching the game and reading at the same time, and oh my god. This whole series was crazy. Like from the first to the last book, and I'm reviewing Saved by Sin by H.L. Swan. I wish there was like a fourth book. I mean, I need to see them. I'll tell you in a second. But holy crap. Like I couldn't set it down like oh my god. I can't even like how do I even want to put this one? The craziness of people not trusting each other when okay, so first off, I'm gonna start as if you know your sister married somebody you hate, just trust them. If there's a reason that your sibling married somebody, trust that instinct of why they did. Okay? Like crap. I do love like how Sin and Cameron, I think is Magnolia's brother, um, were, but it's like, bro, you guys need to listen to women for real in this book. Like I feel like women get stuff done in these books, but it's like I'm actually proud of Bria Magnolia in this book because girls, the plan that you laid out when stuff got real is crazy. I think all of us women I think us women who are really in love, I'm not gonna lie, would do that to save our significant others. I mean, I would literally like just to get my man man back in my life. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I like how they coordinated their plans and everything. Of I mean, if you haven't read the series, I don't want to spoil anything. Just so you can get off this thing now. Because I don't want to spoil it, but if you like spoilers, you could stay, like, because I don't like spoiling it. But the way they planned her death and acted like she died was phenomenal. I was like, you girls are smart. Like, Magnolia is smart about this because, like, most of the time it's like you can't light a fire up under people, like, family wise, for them to actually do something, which kind of did happen. But at the same time, it can kind of like make things worse, which in a way, I think Magnolia was right in this one, but also wrong because it's like if you do trust your family, like they could have been involved in this and been more like smart about stuff, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I hated Zeke. Honestly, how you do that to family friends, bro? Like you and your family are crazy. Like I hated that family. Like I was like, something was off about him when he was first mentioned, and I was like, nah, maybe it's just me. But I'm like, oh, maybe I was right with my gut. But then sometimes I'm like, I don't know. It could be mixed. Like at one point I was like, oh, maybe he's good, and it's just his family being crazy. But then I'm like, oh, I was so wrong. But I'm glad that Zeke and his family got taken care of. But like, my whole question for that part is, where the heck did the mom go? I mean, if you read this book, like that's my only question. Like, where did she leave? But anywho, this is crazy. Um, the fighting with everybody was crazy, like crazy. But like you got to do what you got to do for family. You got to do what you got to do to like get stuff done, and like weed out the bad. You know what I mean? I like how what Sin does though. Like when Magnolia found out like what he actually does, that's pretty cool what Sin did because it's like some people that like in the mafia have hearts, you know what I mean? So it's pretty cool like what he used and intercepts and all that. that was pretty cool to know, because I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, because I know there's people in the real world that actually probably do this stuff. And like, I'm not calling them out or anything, or like trying to say something like that, but if people do that in real life, that's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you can't down that, because that's somebody helping the world out. You know what I mean? So if there's any shady stuff happening like that in the real world, props to people who actually do that for the good. Just saying. Um, not that I don't think anybody would see this, but it's pretty cool. I hated that friggin' Maxwell died though. I'm bummed out. I was like, oh, why couldn't he live? Why couldn't it just been another dang soldier, you know, that died because that was their friend? And I'm like, I feel bad, man. Like, sorry, I'm so tired. It's been a long day. But I almost cried, because I'm like, oh my, if this ends well, if like everybody, I'm like, I would have freaked out. But I'm glad it ended the way it ended. I'm glad that they made everybody realize that they're the problem, that it was another family that's the problem that stays silent. So it's like, you always have to look out for the silent people, because you never know. Like, they could be good in one moment and then, you know, backstab you the next, which is crazy. And I'm glad they caught on to that. That whole time in the book, like the last couple chapters, I wish we would have got to like if you don't like spoilers, please leave right now. But I wish we would have got more of her, like her being pregnant. Because in the epilogue, I was like, oh, she finally did. But the whole time I'm like, I think she is, because the way her and Sonara, I swear. I was waiting for that bomb to drop, so that way they had more leverage to, like, you know, protect her and be like, nope, don't put her in the lion's den kind of situation. But I'm glad probably in a way she like hit it, but like now I kind of wish there was like a fourth book to it, to see them in like the family life and to see how Bria and Cameron does, because they're still dealing with stuff after the fact of all this. So I'm like, I want a fourth book. But H.L. Swan, you girl, you do amazing on all of your freaking books. Like, this series, phenomenal. 5 out of 5 for every dang book. Like, I can't. This is one of my favorite series. Like, all your books have been my favorites. Like, no lie. So if you haven't read her, please do, because everything she wrote, I feel like she does amazing on. Like, any story she writes, she does so amazing with, like, each of the settings, the characters. Like, I love what she writes, honestly. Like, I can't wait for more books to like come out with her. But yeah, 5 out of 5 for this series. Love, love, love reading. Like, I just want more. Like, I just need more of them, honestly. But I'm glad that Magnolia now has her found family. She has her regular family, like her birth family, but she also has like family through Bria and Sin, which is amazing. And now Sin and her are starting a family, which is so amazing. But I wish I could see like Bria and Cameron and like Magnolia and her mom to really like be there for each other now. But it sucks we can't, unfortunately. But hopefully there's a fourth book, maybe future-wise, maybe. But yeah, that's my review on Saved by Sin by H.L. Swan. And like I said, if you haven't read it, I recommend you do so. She does have other series that I recommend reading, like the Race to Me series. And she has like, I have like all her books downstairs, but I don't want to like, you know, go down there and like, you know, talk because they're watching a movie down there. So I'm not distracting them for that. But yeah, recommend giving her a try. And yeah. See you guys in the next video, and I don't know what I'm going to read next or review next. Bye, guys.